Funeral Home. That's Charles Woods and Cadero Woods at Community Funeral Home, pre-need to at-need funeral services, funerals, burials, or cremation, where we offer more than expected in service at less than the expected cost. Overcast with showers at times today. Some rainfall possibly heavy with a high today in the low 70s. Chance of rain 60%. Winds out of the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Rainfall potentially heavy tonight. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain tonight is 90%. Rainfall may reach 1 inch. It's all going to be out here by 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So windy and rainy for the next 12 to 18 hours. So keep that in mind as you make your plans for today and tonight. 66 in downtown Sylacauga. I'm Jim Adele. Thanks for watching. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America. Stay safe, everyone.
Good morning, rise and shine, everyone. Today we have two incredible guests from Gadsden State Community College joining us. We have Dr. Jeremy Williams, he is the academic counseling specialist, and Miss Melissa Davis. She is the orientation instructor and the Phi Theta Kappa advisor. So they're here to talk about some exciting opportunities for students, including the upcoming transfer fairs and how Phi Theta Kappa is helping students achieve academic excellence. So stay tuned as we dive into how these programs are making a big impact on student success. So welcome this morning. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I always love my Thursday mornings when I get to learn about Gadsden State, and just when I think I'm aware of all of the programs and services that are provided, I get to learn about new things, and this morning will be that. And so we're going to talk about all of the opportunities with the ARC program. So I'd love to have an overview of the ARC program and its mission at Gadsden State. So Jeremy, I think I'll start with you if that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So with ARC, kind of shortened it, we call it the ARC, but it's the Advising and Retention Center at Gadsden State Community College. And we provide students multiple opportunities, and we provide workshops, and we are going to talk about the transfer fair, which is something that we do every year. But our main goal is to focus on helping those students that are possibly in a class of Math 098 or English 098, some of our developmental classes, to help them. And so our academic counseling specialists are tasked with I guess the overall goal to make sure that they are retained and they complete through their first classes and on to the next level of classes. We also provide general advising for our general studies students at Gadsden State, and we now do pre-health or pre-nursing or pre-health science programs as far as our academic advising overall.
Wow.
So we're kind of split between academic counseling specialists and academic advisors. We are on multiple campuses, Gadsden State, both Wallace Drive and our East Broad campus, where our one-stop location is, and at the Ayers campus we have advisors here as well. And so we're there to provide an overall benefit to the students, advising them in the best pathway that they can go on.
Yeah. So when students are typically seeking and coming to the ARC, what academic support do they typically seek? Do you see something that is typical more so than others?
Well, you know, to use the word typical, there are some things that they come through. You know, sometimes people just want help with their schedule.
Okay.
And so we'll provide help scheduling out, planning their academic career. You know, if it's a first-time freshman, we'll start out with them that first semester, and then we'll provide a pathway and help them to understand what it is to choose a major. And once they have chosen a major, we set them off to a faculty faculty advisor of that department in which they choose that major. So typically that's how it begins, but there's no typical student.
Right.
You know, everyone is different, and so advising itself is catered to the student along the way. Some students need help with that career assessment, and so we provide the Cardinal Career Explorer or other ways for them to be able to choose the major that they're ultimately going to choose, find out what their strengths are in order to go to that next level and make that choice. So, you know, there's no typical student.
No.
Sometimes they need different things, and so we have to be prepared for all the needs of our students.
Yeah, and that is, you know, when you're entering into that phase, if you're a high school student who's decided to go, like, what do I do? I'm not sure. I'm not decided. And you at Gadsden State offer so many different opportunities, so many different pathways, and so that's wonderful to have someone there that can kind of help guide and talk you through. Well, where do you see yourself? And so to me, it seems like that's one of the things that you're describing that you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How does the ARC or ARC program help students stay on track academically, especially those who might be struggling with their coursework?
Yeah. Well, we're always in contact with our students. Every one of our advisors has a caseload that they're regularly contacting, whether it be general studies students or developmental students. And so we're there as a guide for them and a contact for them. They also will see us in those classes from time to time. We may peek our head in and say, you know, do you need us in this time? But being a presence for them in multiple locations, on the campus as a whole, providing workshops, like we'll have a workshop on resume building or time management skills, and helping them to develop those skills so that they do progress well through their programs, and we do retain them, because you know, everybody has the idea up front, okay, we want to provide them with the academic counseling that they need to begin their college career, but we also want to make sure that they have it throughout their college career so that they graduate from Gadsden State and they go on to one of our four-year partners if that's their desire, or they go into a AAS program that is a terminal program that they'll go off into the workforce. And so we want to be there all the way through, providing them the kind of counseling and care that they need through it.
That's incredible. We talk about on this show a lot about resources, and people, you know, in our lifetime, we're always, you know, in need of resources, and there are resources available. And so for Gadsden State to have those resources there for students to come in and be able to explore that, because it can be an intimidating process, and if you don't know, you know, you do have some students who know exactly what they want to do, exactly what they want to be, and exactly how they want to get there. But that's not and oftentimes you don't see that in every student.
Right.
And so to be able to have someone to be a guide, and also to know that okay, it's not just up front, that it's an ongoing thing. There's so much peace of mind there, especially with a student, and that really does set them up for success. Yeah, so I'm sure you've seen a lot of success stories also. Do you have any fun ones that come to mind that you'd want to share?
Well, I mean, just as far as success stories, I've been there a short period of time in the ARC, but I can tell you Miss Davis probably has many success stories in her time as a director of SSS and now as an orientation instructor. That she could tell you. I don't want to push it off, but I know that she's got some great ones.
Yeah, and let's talk about you. So tell us about, so you've been with Gadsden State for how long?
20 years.
20 years. I thought you had been there quite some time.
Yes.
My goodness. Wow. What makes you stay at Gadsden State for so many years?
Because seeing students succeed, I love it.
Wow.
That's what I tell my orientation students. I said, guys, find you a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life.
There you
I said,
go.
that's what I do every day.
Wow.
You know, I love it. So
That's amazing. So you started off where?
in student support services.
Okay. Which we've gotten to visit with them before. That's
Yes,
incredible.
it's a grant program,
Yeah.
and helping students, you know, with all the things that they need. So I worked there for 10 years as the transfer counselor, and then I became the director.
Wow.
And did that now. I'm teaching orientation
Orientation.
to all the students.
So tell us about that. So every student who registers goes through orientation.
Yes, Orientation
Okay.
101 is a requirement for graduation at Gaston State, and so that's just an introductory class. We have it designed that we teach you about Gaston State in the beginning, you know, the things that you need to be successful, how to use Canvas, how do you get online, how do you make sure you can see your grades, how do you know how to get your transcript, all the things that they just may figure out on their own, but may not, and they need to know those things.
Yeah.
But then we go into study skills and time management, how to write an appropriate email to your instructor, how to have an appropriate email address, how to...
That got some chuckles.
Oh, yeah.
We must have
Yes.
seen some good email addresses.
Yes, yes. But you know, how to write a resume, how to go for an interview, because some students unfortunately don't take orientation their first semester.
Oh.
And so I'm like, we've got to give these students something, you know, that will be a benefit to them if they're about to graduate. So how to do the resume, how to go for an interview, and then I've incorporated this semester financial literacy.
That's a big one.
Yes, so we've partnered with some financial institutions to come in because they're more of the expert on that than I am, to talk about, you know, why do you need a budget? How do you get a credit score? Why do you need a credit score? You know, and those type things, you know, that there are student loans available, but do you really need to get them? So,
Navigating all of that to set them up for success.
yes,
Truly.
yes. You know, especially for first generation college students, you know, they don't know the things that they don't know. So hopefully we're going to provide that for them in orientation, and then tell them more about the resources at Gaston State. So if they needed to join Student Support Services or go to the ARC or to the tutoring center, you know, they know where to go for those things, because that knowing is half the battle, right?
Absolutely.
So-
And you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And I got that from our friend Ellen Hurst. She says that a lot
Yes.
on our Friday show, because it's so true. I mean,
It's very
if you
true.
have all of these resources available, but you don't know how to find them, or you don't know that
they're
the
there.
resources are there,
Right.
then you don't. So that is so you're a hub of information essentially, so they can come to see you, orientation, and then know all of the opportunities and all of those little things that we don't often think about that come, you know,
Right.
that don't necessarily come naturally. But if you've been in a job environment for a long, you know, for a while, you know, that thought of like resumes. Oh yeah, you got to start somewhere with a resume.
Right.
And even to your point of creating a good email address, like what's something that's going to be professional, what's something
Right.
going to, you know, have an employer take you seriously, right? And so it's about those first impressions, those that initial upfront. And so again, just another way to set these students up for success.
Yes.
What feedback do you get from students about the orientation?
I think they're appreciative. You know, they're like, you know, thank you, because you know it can be the difference. A good resume can be the difference
Oh,
in a
sure.
job or not. So I'm hearing, you know, thank you for having that as an assignment, because it's a grade.
Yeah.
So you know you're learning the things that you need to know, but you're also getting a grade for it. So
Yeah, that's nice.
it's kind of a good benefit there. So I think they've been, you know, my feedback on summer evaluations were great class, loved this class. A student told me the other day it was a fun class.
There
She
you
said,
go.
"This is my funnest class I have." So,
Making orientation fun. That's got to be a
Yeah.
bit of a challenge, though.
well, I mean, it's all in delivery.
There
right?
you go.
So,
you just do it with excitement.
yes.
And you know that they need that. And financial literacy, speaking on that, and I think we'll probably need to expand on that after our break, but that's so important, because so many people after college, like, you know, they have, you know, the financial burdens also. Okay, now what do I do? I've gone through this, I have these student loans, or I've paid out this money, or what do I do now, and how do I budget in my everyday, you know, now I'm on my own, how do I
Yeah.
budget for that? So those are the things that you cover on financial literacy. Yeah.
Yeah, because adulting is hard.
Adulting is so hard.
Yeah.
But you know what? Adulting doesn't have to be so hard, because
Right.
you have resources.
That's right. If you have
guests to stay.
Yeah, if you have the tools that you in place, then it doesn't have to be hard.
Right. Well, it's always going to be hard, but it can be like emotionally and all those things. But
Yeah.
we can make steps to make it easier. And if we're more prepared going into
Right.
adulting, then I guess it makes it easier. But it's always going to be hard. Adulting is just going to be hard. But here's some tools that
Right.
you can put in your tool bag to make sure that you.
Yes.
But you don't have to, it doesn't have to be so. So I want to talk some more about that and many other things, because there's a lot of things going on in that ARC. And then, of course, we got to talk about the Phi
Theta Kappa.
Phi Theta Kappa. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
I'm Alan Parnell, with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Rise and shine, everyone, on this Gadsden State Thursday. So this morning we are learning more about the ARC program, and we've got more things to learn about orientation and also about the Phi Theta Kappa. And so we have Miss Melissa Davis here with us this morning, and we have Dr. Jeremy Williams. And so thank you again for being here to talk about all of the incredible services that is offered. So we talked about orientation, which is incredible because that's a great way for all of the students to know where all the resources are. And so would you challenge them to take that the first semester?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah. Why wait?
Or even take it the summer before you're going to start in the fall.
There you go.
Because
That's a great
then
idea.
you're really set up, and you've had it in the summer, so in the fall just hit the ground running. You don't have to wait a couple weeks to understand everything.
Yeah. So that's really good advice. Go
Yes.
ahead and get that, so then you know all the resources. So then when you're in your third semester, you're like, I didn't know I could
Right.
do that. Go ahead and know up front. And so with the academic counseling specialist, Dr. Williams, so when someone comes in, like, I would be really curious, like if I came to you and said, hey, I want to know what I want to be, how would you help guide me in that direction? If I came in and said, hey, I want to make a career change, not that I want to, but just in hypothetical, where would I start?
Yeah. Well, we would start with asking questions of the student, where that student is as far as background, where they come from, also asking, what do you think your strengths are, and then putting them in touch with either providing them materials for the Cardinal Career Explorer, which we have, or other career-oriented exploration tools to be able to find out, what they want to do. Some people just walk in the door and they naturally know, hey, I just want to be a nurse.
I was always so jealous of those people. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. Yeah, we get a lot of people who just really want to be in our health science programs. I think that's one of our programs that probably, I would say probably every third student that walks in the door either wants to be a nurse or radiography or sonography, something of that nature. So they already know. But we have many students, and it almost seems like they have more now than I've experienced, and maybe Ms. Davis can speak to this as well. But they just don't know, because we have a lot of general studies. I just want to get my basics, is what they'll say.
And then I'll figure it out.
And then I'll figure it out. We like to make sure if they're in an academic pathway that they got it figured out, at least have a plan by the second year. Because a lot of classes at that point are going to really need to be taken in order to line them up and provide them a great jumping off point, moving on to our four-year partners, if that's their academic.
Have a seamless transfer.
Absolutely.
I tell students you have 3 semesters to figure it out. There's enough classes for 3 semesters, and then you kind of need to know by then.
Yeah, everybody's going to go through their sequence in English. They're going to take social behavioral science. But that what we would say, if you sat down with us, we would look at the area 5, their more major-oriented classes, and that would be where we'd need to focus that second year, or after 3 semesters.
Yeah, all to make it that easy transition into the 4-year, or either into the workforce, or whatever it is. But I was like, I do have to laugh because I was that. Like after high school, I was like, I don't know exactly what I want to do all these things, but I don't know really where. And it would have been very beneficial for me if I had someone in a service like you have to sit down and say, okay, what are your strengths? What are the things that you're interested in?
And we have people to change their majors.
Yeah, sure. Sometimes you get in and you don't like it like you think
Absolutely.
you would.
Or maybe you take a class and you just love that instructor and love the subject matter they're teaching, and that sets you on a different trajectory.
That's cool. That's cool to see too.
And job shadowing is always
That's a good one.
very important, because then you can go and see, okay, I think that I want to be a nurse because I think I like helping people, and then you go and you're like, ooh, that was gross. And so it's like, that's not what I want to do. So to me, that's the best way to know if you really want to do it, is to go and watch someone. And don't watch them just on the good days.
Yeah.
When they make it look fun and appealing.
Get in there with the real days, the nitty gritty.
Yes.
Yeah.
To know if that's really what you want to do.
Well, we'd love for any students interested in communications to come in and hang out here at the studio with us. We encourage that, so that'd be great.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
for
please
sure.
do. Please do, because that is so important. Because as you're studying, you feel like you love this, but then getting out into that real world part of it might change the trajectory, or you might see something, well, I do like this, but I think this is more of the lane I want to go in. And it's all about figuring it out. I mean, again, get back to adulting. It's just all about, figuring it out. And if you can figure it out at a younger age, then that's amazing. And again, I am a little jealous because I never knew, but that's okay. It's okay because there is a world of opportunities, and you can also, change that trajectory. Do you have students that come to you that are not just beginning students, like not just fresh out of high school as well, like someone
Yes.
like, you know, in like okay, I want to know what the next phase. You know, this part of my career might not be where I want to be, and I want to change that trajectory in my life. Do they come to you as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we have adult learners every day coming back to either retrain or, you know, maybe they've been laid off. You know, I had a parent, you know, over the years, I know that a lot of people, especially in our area where where Goodyear or the steel plant previously had closed down, a lot of those students went back and they got retooled, maybe in the trades, one of those, or even nursing or another area like that, and they went on and had second careers that were very successful in those careers. And we have those students each and every day that come through our halls.
Some maybe raise their family and then they'll come back, they'll say it's my time now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, those who maybe started, you know, earlier in life with families, and now it's like, okay, I want to either start a career or change my career or just do something different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of the opportunities there that like I'm super interested in. You know, I mean, some of those cool, like carpentry. I don't know. That would just be. I keep saying if I ever have any time, I'm going to take some of that carpentry because I love building things around the house, and you know, I mean,
I want
it'd
to
be
take
fun.
welding.
There you go. I mean, what a great thing. There's opportunities at Gaston State for women.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
It's incredible. Well, great. Well, so once you do get in there and you decide, I know sometimes like there are different courses that might create different struggles. Like with me, I'm not great in math, so I would definitely need somebody to help me more than likely. I mean, English is definitely my strong point. Math, it's just, there's no secret. I've talked to my viewers about it. It's just, I'm not great at math. And so are there services like tutoring services that are offered, and are there specific subjects or areas in that tutoring service that receive more attention?
Well, with any student, if they're struggling in a particular class, I always tell them the first place you need to go is to your instructor. We have some great instructors at Gaston State, and they can provide them with extra help. Maybe they need more than that. So they would go to the Cardinal Tutoring Center, and we provide tutoring through Cardinal Tutoring Center in every subject, and so we have tutors there for that. And if you're part of a program like SSS on the college level, they also have their own tutors. So if you qualify for that program, you could take advantage of those services as well. So we make sure that I know even in orientation, Ms. Davis goes through, and here are all your services that you can take advantage of at Gaston State. Now we lay out the buffet. I was going to say the smorgasbord, but we lay it out before our students. It is for the students to take initiative to do so. But we want to make sure that they are provided with that information, and we provide them with the services that they need to be successful.
And we have Thinking Storm as well, which is a 24/7 tutoring service. It's online. You know, so if you finish your English paper at midnight and you need someone to proofread it, you can send it in.
Which there are a lot of English papers get finished at midnight.
Who's there waiting to read it, or is it like?
You know, it's a contract base that we contract with. So.
Ooh, that's a job. That's a night owl type job, huh? So there's so many resources. Are there workshops that are available for students to like help with those study schools or test taking strategies? Some people have like test anxiety almost, right? Like I know all of this, and then I get in here to take the test, and it just leaves my mind. Are there resources available for those kind of skills and time management, those type of skills too?
There are, and I think Mr. Davis has started to include those in the orientation process to make sure those students know that up front. And on the back end, we in the ARC, we provide workshops from time to time. And if a student comes to us, we were actually ordering supplies the other day specifically for test-taking anxiety, because there's a lot of students that deal with anxiety trying to take a test. And
so we have to give it to them in multiple ways. You know, we covered in orientation. They have workshops. They have individual resources, but sometimes you have to hear it more than one time before it finally kind of sinks in. So we do try to offer lots of different ways.
So keep reminding them.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure the instructors, if they see someone struggling with that, like in class, well, they know all the answers, or the work that they do just doesn't reflect what the instructor feels like the student is capable of. Do they come and talk to you as well, or do they talk to the student?
I think they'll talk with the student
Yeah.
on that. And our instructors are great.
Yeah.
They're,
all the ones I've met are definitely
yes,
good.
they are great. So, yeah.
So they'll kind of talk to the student and remind them, because I'm sure they all go through workshops as well, the instructors, to know all the resources too.
Right.
And then they know you, so they can say, hey, go see Miss Davis.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot more to cover. We're going to go take a quick break, so y'all don't go away, and neither do you. We'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
What can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Looking for unbeatable deals? Look no further than Shop 24, your go-to spot for incredible discounts and savings. From local dining and entertainment to grocery stores and everything you need, we've got deals you won't find anywhere else. But hurry, these hot deals are limited and going fast. Grab your phone and call now. Don't let these savings slip away. Join me, Kip Chappell, on Shop 24 every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Tune in to save big with Shop 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
May not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 2324 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models, you got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Rise and shine, everyone, and welcome back on your Thursday morning. We are visiting with Gadsden State Community College, and like every Thursday, we get to learn about so many cool things that are happening and so many opportunities that are available for you. So whether you're a first-time student or deciding to change your career path or just need some more skills to add, some tools to your toolbox, you can find it there at Gadsden State. And so this morning, we are talking about resources, because that's so important as a first-time student or a returning student. You need resources, and there are resources available. So Ms. Davis is here to talk to us about orientation, getting the students informed about all of the resources, and then of course the ARC or ARC program as we talk about it. Dr. Williams is here, and so again, there's so many resources available, and everyone has that opportunity to get involved with the resources. So that's available to everyone. And so, yeah, so there's lots of things going on, and of course we want to talk about the Phi Theta Kappa.
Yeah.
You want to dive into that?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. So Phi Theta Kappa is the International Honor Society for two-year schools. So I tell students it's kind of like Beta Club or National Honor Society in high school. In college, Phi Theta Kappa is the college version, and our chapter is Row at Gaston State. So we get to go to these different conventions. We have a regional convention and then the international convention. So all the other chapters in the state are at region, and then at international there's thousands of college students. Wow. It's amazing, actually. And so you have to be invited to join. You're invited if you have a 3.5 GPA.
Oh, that's a good one.
After you've completed 12 hours of college level work. And I will send invitations go out every semester, so fall, spring, and summer. They went out this week.
Oh, there you go.
So be looking for that in your student email, is where those invitations go. And there is a one-time fee of $70 to join. There's not a time requirement for students, like some clubs may have where you have to do so many hours and that type of thing. We don't have that, but we have lots of opportunities.
There you go.
So if you want to be involved, we have a lot of opportunities. We have meetings twice a month. And Collins Davis is my president this time. He's doing a great job. We're tasked with having an Honors in Action project that Phi Theta Kappa will tell us that we have to have certain themes we have to go through, and then we have a college project that we have to do. We actually won last year on the international level for our college project, so I was very excited about that. And so this year they're working on those two projects, so we don't have them 100% finalized, or I would tell you what they are. But we will work on those this fall. Then all along the way, things will come up. They'll say, hey, I need students for this, or we have Get On Board Day. We need to have a table there. Candy with the Cardinals. We need a table there. So Phi Theta Kappa students are always, right there and wanting to do that because they need to build that resume, right?
Sure.
Because there's lots of scholarship opportunities.
There you go. We don't want to leave any of those on the table.
And they're competitive.
Yeah.
So you can't just say, I was in Phi Theta Kappa. You need to say, I was in Phi Theta Kappa and here's what I did, so that you're, can compete, because there's lots of money in Phi Theta Kappa. They'll have a scholarship opportunity will come out in the fall, and it's through the All USA. And under that umbrella, you can get lots of money. So the All USA, you're top 20 in the country.
Oh, wow.
And I had a student who was in the top 20 in the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
Amazing. I was very excited. Because you kind of, they're like become my kids.
Yeah.
So I was very proud that he got that. And then we also have an all-state team, which is under that same umbrella. So 2 students from Gaston State will be on the All-Alabama team.
Oh, wow.
And then from that, you can become a Coca-Cola scholar. And then there's the New Century Scholar, and that's the top score for Alabama. So my All-USA person was also our New Century Scholar, and then also had a full tuition scholarship to their transfer school. They did not have to pay for their 4-year degree at all.
Isn't that amazing to see? You just light up. I just feel your excitement when you're talking about this.
There's just so many opportunities, and it is what you make of it. So I love involved students.
Yeah.
And they have great ideas.
I'm sure. It's fun
um,
to see the collaboration between
because one of our projects one year was the food pantry on campus, and they're like, let's get a vending machine, and I'm like, I don't know, and they're like, we got it. And we have a vending machine now because they had that idea. Now they have gone, and the project is no longer what we're submitting, but we still run that food pantry on campus, and it's on all campuses. So to make sure students have what they need.
Nice. So the one that you won with, what was that? Can you tell us? I know you don't have this one up.
So last year, we helped with the Equip Day in Etowah County, where they bring in all of the K-12 teachers and teach them about technical programs and opportunities, you know, places they can work. So we just assisted Dean Smith with that project.
That was a really cool day. We covered on some
Yes.
of that, and that was really neat.
Yes.
So yeah, well that was an award winner.
Yeah, it
That's
was
great.
Yeah,
Well, congrats.
So I was really proud of Sabella Henry. She's the one who wrote all that up, and you know,
It's
she
a
did
lot
a good
of work
job.
and time.
Oh, it is a lot of work.
And
yes.
it's so beneficial.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well,
Yeah,
congrats on that.
yeah, thank you.
Well, how do students get involved with Phi Theta Kappa, and what type of leadership opportunities are available for
so
them?
when they get that invitation, they need to join them because you have to have a 3.5 to join. Once you are a member, you have to keep a 3.0. And so what will happen is students will not join. They'll forget, you know, that kind of thing. And then they want to join the next semester because they're planning to transfer, but their GPA fell. And I can't, you know, the rule is a 3.5. So the
rule's the rules.
Yeah. So if it falls, I'm so sorry. When you get the invitation, join them.
Yeah.
And then we use Canvas as our learning management system. And so I have a Canvas class for Phi Theta Kappa, and I just post our announcements there on what we have coming up. If I need volunteers, then I'll make a sign-up form online, and people can sign up to participate.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a great opportunity there
Absolutely.
then. So, well, how does Phi Theta Kappa help students in terms of like academic achievement and recognition?
Well, we have what's called the EDGE program.
Okay.
And so they have opportunities to do what's called a competitive EDGE.
Okay.
And that works on soft skills and that type thing. But then they've created more. And I make all of the officers are required to do the research EDGE because the Honors in Action project relies heavily on research. And so I have them do the research EDGE, which teaches them more about research. But there's also an employment EDGE. So for those students who are not transferring, it's going to help them with how to get that job. And there's the healthcare EDGE for those who are going to go into healthcare. And then there's the transfer EDGE. So, and they will complete those. They do that on their own online, and when they complete them, they get a little pin that they can wear at graduation.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, and they can, you know, purchase the gold stole and the tassels so that everyone knows they're an honor student.
Yeah.
At graduation. So
I would wear it too. Proudly. You should definitely wear that proudly.
Yes.
So we've got any upcoming events or like initiatives? I know you just said that the invitations are now mailed out.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So I think school-wide we've got a transfer fair coming up.
Oh yeah.
And so that's going to have the different schools will be available. I'll let Dr. Williams talk about that. But you know, Phi Theta Kappa, there's a lot of transfer scholarships to a lot of schools in Alabama, but also outside of Alabama. Remember, it's an international honor society.
Yeah.
And so if you want to go to Mississippi, you know, there's some opportunities there. You want to go to somewhere in Tennessee, Georgia, I mean, there's opportunities. So it's not just limited to Alabama.
Yeah. Sounds like a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
celebrate that awesome GPA. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so don't delay. If you get the invitation, make sure
Yes.
you go ahead.
It's good through December 31st.
There you go. You've got some time.
Yes.
Don't procrastinate.
No.
So those transfer fairs, those are coming up soon, and that is such an incredible thing. I got to visit with Dr. Farrah Hayes a few months back, and she was telling me about some of those the transfer
Yes.
opportunities, and what a great connection to have because a lot of I don't want to say a lot, but oftentimes, of course, students come in for the 2 years or to decide what they're going to do with the hope of going on to a 4-year or to a another school.
Absolutely.
And so being able to have that transfer opportunity and can save a lot of money too,
Yes.
right?
Yes, with those transfer scholarships, and that's part of providing our students with more information than they need sometimes, or as much information as we can give them, because a lot of students don't know about college transfer scholarships, and that other institutions will give a student a scholarship when they graduate from our institution. And so it's kind of a twofold emphasis where we want to have them to graduate from our institution and then ultimately go on with a certain level of GPA based on the institution that will provide them the scholarship moving forward. And then that they could smoothly transition to the next location.
And we have Alabama Transfers, which is a partnership.
Okay.
And so that goes over the classes, that you can take at the two-year school that will guarantee to be transferred over to that 4-year. So none of your classes.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
like
none of your classes are wasted.
Right.
Make sure.
Right. And that's why advising is so important. And the earlier, the better. A lot of students want to self-advise, and I kind of jokingly say, would you diagnose yourself with a medical condition without going to the doctor? Would you just look it up on Wikipedia and go on?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you would. But we need to make sure that early on, and that's part of the orientation, new emphasis, making sure that they get on that path as early as possible, so that they do not waste the funds that they have. College costs, and if it's going to come out of our own pocket, we want to make sure that we provide the best value that we can for our students.
It's amazing. And why do it yourself when you have people who are dedicated to helping you and who are aware of all the opportunities and the resources? Well, so we have some fairs coming up soon, and so when we get back, I want to make sure all of our viewers know about that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Rise and shine, everyone, and welcome back. This morning we have been visiting, of course, with Gadsden State because it's Thursday and that's what we get to do, and we love it. I love learning about Gadsden State Community College. It's right here locally, and all of the opportunities that it provides for our community, whether you're starting your educational journey, continuing it, wherever you are in the process, and there are so many resources. So when we went to break, we were beginning to talk about transfer fairs. So this is for two-year students who are looking to continue and go on to a 4-year.
Absolutely.
So why are transfer fairs so crucial for students looking to continue their education at a 4-year institution?
They're so crucial because these are opportunities to talk to representatives from each institution, the institution they're choosing. Now, normally we had, I think last year, 20 institutions. And so they can go up and talk to a representative and go ahead and get information. You know, a lot of students may think, well, I can just begin to talk to them in their 2nd year. But I think as early as you can, that 1st year, go ahead and talk to them. That way you can get the information you need, line up the pathway that you need to follow in order to transfer to a particular major that you're going to choose at that institution. Because most of the students are choosing to transfer to a particular school based on the major that they have. And so getting that information on the program, getting that information on what funding they may receive, you know, really transfer scholarships are something that are a wonderful opportunity for our students. You know, I don't know how it was when Ms. Davis came through, but I know how it was when I came through. Scholarships were hard to find, and you really had to dig for the money. But now it seems that you don't have to dig too hard. Right. So there's a lot of funding out there, but still our students need to be provided the information in order to take advantage of those opportunities.
And you need to know the deadlines.
Oh yeah, that's
you
a big
know,
one.
you can't really wait till the semester before you're going because the deadlines have passed. So if you will start planning that first year that you're at Gadsden State, that, you know, I know in 2 years I'm going to be leaving, because you don't apply to the university and apply for scholarships at the same time. You have to apply to the university, be accepted, then you can do the scholarship applications. And so, you know, that takes a little bit of time. So you've got to have that set up. So a transfer fair, go into that as a freshman, very beneficial, because then you can find out when those deadlines are. I mean, some are as early as December for the following fall.
Oh wow!
You know, you're like, that's like almost a year away.
You wouldn't expect.
You wouldn't be thinking about it that early, but that's how early they are. So you need to know.
Wow. Yeah, that's important information.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's some of the things that they can get started right here soon. The first transfer fair. Let's look at some of those dates here. So we've got the transfer fair that's starting, was that October the 2nd?
Yes.
And so that's at the Richard Lindsay Arena. That's at the Cherokee campus.
Correct.
From, let's see, 8:30 to 11:30. And then October the 23rd at Allen Hall. There you go. There's a bigger version of that. So Allen Hall, Wednesday, October 23rd from 9 to 11:30.
And Allen Hall is on the Wallace Drive campus in Gadsden.
And then Shee Hall Center, so October 24th, 9 to 11:30 at Shee Hall Center. And so that's at the Ayers campus, right here, close to us, like super close. Like I think we're like 5 miles from it. And so what a great benefit to the students to be able to go in and meet with these, you said 20 or so institutions.
Had 20, and institutions, yes, locally. So JSU would be there. You know, we have a great partnership with JSU. I would say the majority of our students that transfer to a 4-year institution go to JSU. And so we are a huge feeder school to JSU, and we love our partnership with them. It's been great over the years. We will continue moving that forward into the future.
They also have a PTK scholarship.
They have a PTK scholarship. There we go.
Throw that out there.
Other institutions like the big boys, Alabama, Auburn will be there. Other institutions as well, from UNA to Montevallo, Troy, USA. We even have out-of-state institutions. West Georgia's been there. I know they're not too far from this viewing area. Reinhardt University over in Georgia, Kennesaw State, Shorter, and even had Mississippi State there last year. So not just Alabama, but we have students transferring all over the Southeast.
Because there may be something that a school offers out of state that maybe they don't offer some here. I mean, there's just differences,
Yeah,
right?
for a long time, meteorology was one of those, and all those students would go to Mississippi State, but I think South Alabama now has a meteorology program. So.
So wherever, your trajectory is taking you, this is a really good way to figure it out. Because again, trying to navigate, where do I go now? And what do I do now? And all of the opportunities that are there. And I've really enjoyed learning about those transfer scholarships. And one that I had on my show was the poultry sciences. And I found that to be incredibly interesting. The 2 years, the 2 plus 2. Like that was really cool. And so there's so many, like Dr. Williams said, there's so many opportunities out there, and you just have to know where to find them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you have a success story with you today. She's not joining us on camera, but what a cool story there. So tell us who is hanging out with us in studio today.
Well, I have Miss Haley Sims. She is an advisor for the ARC at the Ayers campus. She took advantage of a full presidential transfer scholarship to JSU after graduating from Gadsden State years ago. And I know Miss Davis worked alongside her as well, and I believe she would count her as one of her success stories.
Yes, I would, for sure. So Haley was a student at Gadsden State. She tutored for us in student support services, and then went on to Jacksonville, and then we hired her back to work in student support services, and now she's in the Advising Resource Center. So we're very proud of Haley.
Yeah, so maybe next time you come visit, Haley will get up here with us and tell a little bit about her story. But that's so cool to go full circle, right? To start there and then now be employed there.
I was a student at Gadsden State.
You were a student.
Many moons ago.
Yeah. Well, and many end up like that, right? Like if you're in education and you want to stay. I mean, I've heard a few stories where I started as a student and now I'm here as, is in this position. So that's incredible.
Yeah. It's a really great place to be. I enjoyed my time there, and I know Ms. Davis has, and we look forward to more and look forward to things that are coming. A lot of wonderful programs that we have now, a lot of things being added in the future, and we look forward to providing our students with the proper resources and attention that they need to be successful. I think when they're successful, we're successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And having that great partnership with these institutions, these 4 years institutions, is such a benefit to your students because, again, like it's a way for them to start off a journey and be able to go into the next phase at a lesser expense and to be have an understanding of how to balance those finances and how to write that resume and those proper emails. These are tools that every person really entering any type of workforce needs to have. Like that orientation is so important for every person. Like I think some people might even need like a little refresher. Right. Even if they're not attending Gadsden State, just like a little refresher on like some of those things. Budgeting and how to do what. Or are there any things that maybe I missed in my research? I did visit that GadsdenState.edu/ARC. There's so much great information on there. And then, of course, the Phi Theta Kappa. Make sure if you get that invitation, fill it out. No procrastination there.
Don't leave anything on the table. Take advantage of every opportunity that you get. That's what we try to tell our students, and that's what we try to do as educators and people who want to provide the best possible environment we can for our students.
That's right. Yeah. And you all work really hard to do that. And of course, it's fun too. Gadsden State has a lot of fun things to do with your arts and the drama department, and of course, like the sports. That's ramping up, and that's so exciting.
We had Get On Board Day not too long ago. That was an opportunity for our students to learn about clubs and to get on board.
How they can get involved, because you had 4 years in high school, to be involved and become an amazing student and build that resume. And that can stay on there for about a year, but then it needs to roll off, and you need to build that college resume and be amazing in college too. And what we find a lot of students is maybe they didn't do a lot in high school, and now they're like, why didn't I do that? Let me do it now. And that's what I like to see is students who really come out of their shell and just bloom.
Yeah.
You know, while they're at Gaston State, that's fun to watch. I get to see that and through Phi Theta Kappa.
Yeah.
Because it's never too late. Like, just because you didn't do it then doesn't mean you can't do it now.
Right, right. And sometimes they just need a little encouragement, you know, to get out of their shell and do.
Find those things that interest them and that they can get excited about and behind.
That's right.
Yeah, and volunteering, and you know, and then whether it's sports or whatever kind of extracurriculars, there are those opportunities.
I hear we're looking for a mascot right now.
We are.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if anyone's interested in being Swoop,
well,
it's
a scholarship.
It's a half tuition scholarship.
There you go. Well, if you have any interest, do you want to give you a contact, or how could they?
Lynn Patterson.
There you go. Contact Lynn Patterson if you are interested in being Swoop. Her information can be found there at gadsdenstate.edu. You just search her name and the contact info, and that's the same for either of you, right? You can search for you on that gadsdenstate.edu website.
Absolutely.
Great information there. It's always kept up to date, and it's really, really great information. So, well, thanks for all that you do for all the students and the success of the students, and which in turn is the success of our community.
That's right.
Because that's what we're building, is a stronger community.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, thanks again, and come visit anytime. And I want to come visit y'all too, and kind of see what's going on there, and see some of the the cool things. I just love it. So, well, okay. Well, thanks again for being our guest at Gadsden State, and thank you for tuning in this morning and every weekday morning. And so I just want to remind you to tune back in tomorrow morning. We'll have Ellen will be here with Alabama Cares. She's going to be flying solo in the morning because I am getting ready for the opening of Beehive. Got to give it a quick plug. I hope you don't mind, but it is opening tomorrow night on the 27th at the Theater of Gadsden. It's a 60s musical you don't want to miss. So you can get your tickets now at theaterofgadsden.org. So with that, we're going to wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Again, special thanks to our wonderful guest with Gadsden State Community College. And so, so with that, we'll see you soon. All right, thanks for tuning in to Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24. Bye.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.